Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality. I cover love, life, dating, relationships, and confidence from an asexual point of view. So if that sounds like something that interests you, click the subscribe button and bell icon now. So, have you ever been the type of person that really strongly craves a relationship? Now, I know some asexuals don't want a relationship. They're really not interested. They enjoy being single. But I know some other asexuals really crave a relationship, really wished they had someone special in their life. They feel lonely and they just wish they could find the right partner. But are you brave enough and strong enough to get the partner you desire? This is what we're going to be discussing in this episode. So first of all, if you didn't know who I am, if you're new to this channel, I'm Sandra Bellamy. I'm the author of Asexual Perspectives, which is a book about love, life, and sex from an asexual point of view. And I'm also the author of Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook, How to Manage Fibromyalgia to Have Less Pain, More Energy, and Feel Happier like a Superhero Rock Star. So this book will help you be very, very strong and courageous in finding your dream person, because it tells you how to break through pain in your life by reducing 25 aspects of pain in your life. So let's crack on with today's show. So yes, how do you be brave and courageous to get the desired result, which is, if you're looking for a relationship, how do you be brave and strong enough to get the relationship you desire? So this is so important. So first of all, you have to really, really be strong in your conviction of why you want a relationship in the first place. So part of being strong and brave enough to get the relationship you desire is to recognize that you want a relationship in the first place. It's a very brave thing even saying that, because a lot of people shy away from relationships because it means you've got to be very vulnerable. And so in order to be strong and brave to find your ideal relationship, you need to understand it's going to take vulnerability on your part. This means you've got to be willing to open up your heart, even after heartbreak. So this is the first thing you need to do, is understand what you want if you desire a relationship in the first place and how badly you want it. If a relationship is really high on your priority list of what you want to accomplish in your life, then you need to put time, energy, and effort into it. Right? So in order to be strong, you need to know that a relationship is going to take work. It's going to take time, energy, and effort. It's going to be like another full-time job, even if you've already got a full-time job or the full-time job, right? Although you shouldn't spend all your time and energy on a relationship, because it's important to be healthy and have other aspects of your life where you're not just talking or thinking about the relationship with the specific person you're in a relationship with. You need to tend to other relationships, such as your friendship or your family, and how you get on with other people in general. But if you want to get the relationship you desire, are you strong and brave enough to get out of your comfort zone to find the right person? Because this is what it's going to take. It's going to require you to get out of your comfort zone and do things that you wouldn't normally do, or that other people wouldn't usually do, because you have to stand out from the crowd in a world which is trying to force everyone to be like everyone else. Someone who stands out from the crowd is someone who's authentic, who is bold and brave, and who is courageous and does things that other people wouldn't do. So, for example, I am going to the second event, which is a Bollywood event, tomorrow night, right? Because if you watch this channel before, I really love Indian guys. I can't help it. They're my top attraction. And spiritually, I believe I've been with an Indian guy in my past. It's not an easy ride liking Indian guys, because a lot of Indian guys, unfortunately, that come my way are not very honest. They don't tell the truth, some of them. Some of them are married and in relationships and they're still after me. This is not good, guys. And so in order to weather the storm, if you like, I need to accept the fact that there are a lot of Indian guys that aren't good for me, but there are always going to be some guys that are good, right? Choose whatever religion or race or ethnicity, there's always going to be some person who's going to be a good person. It's finding those people. So you have to understand that there's gonna be a lot of frogs you're gonna have to go through until you find your prince. In other words, you're gonna have to go through a lot of rubbish guys or people, whatever gender you're interested in order to get the desired, relationship you want. It's not gonna come easy to you. It's gonna be hard work because anything that's worth getting in life is very hard work. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? Relationships take work to get, take work to keep. Some people, they get into a relationship, but they don't keep their relationships because they just get complacent, think, oh, I don't need to do any work now. I've got the person and that's it, which is not good. So you need to be bold and brave. So I think personally, I'm very courageous by going into a club where it's arranged by the University of Exeter Asian, like, Indian Society, should I say, and, it is organised by Indians, predominantly of Exeter University, and, I am not actually looking Indian, even though my soul feels like it's part Indian, and so, I'm going with people who don't really know me, but they might know me from the last event because I think some of them will probably be the same, and it's with when I went to the first event, it was, like, completely, like, bold move of mine because they're a bunch, it's so strange as in they're a bunch of strangers. It wasn't strange going there, but it was like strangers I was mixing amongst. And tomorrow there'll be a load of other strangers. Now, tomorrow night is in a venue which I've seen behind the scenes of. It's a lot more intimate. They said the room's smaller, the booths are smaller. So whereas I had quite a lot of space before, there's gonna be less space in this. So it's gonna be more intimate setting, but that means I'm gonna stand out more, probably like a sore thumb. I don't like saying sore thumb. I'm gonna stand out like a magnificent piece of artwork because I'm so different. This is the attitude to have. But and requires boldness and courage because I think I'm bold and courageous going there. I mean, I don't know of anyone else that would specifically go into a situation where you are literally going to mix with people who you don't even know, who are part of a university society, and you aren't part of that university. So I think that's a kind of like crazy bold move on my part. So what are you going to do? What's it going to take for you to actually find a relationship of your dreams? Now, I am not going thinking I'm going to find someone for a relationship. I'm going there because I love Indian music. I love Bollywood music. But yes, on my mind, it is like, would I ever happen to meet the right Indian guy there? But the point of going there is I just like to be in that atmosphere. I like to understand the Indian guys more, Indian people more. I like to understand the culture of how they mix together in that type of community. I'm not gonna lie, like if an Indian guy happened to kiss me and he's really nice looking and he was my type and I felt comfortable, I would be very enjoying that experience. But, I find that, the more I get to understand Indian people and Indian guys, the better for me because I plan to be in a relationship in the future as if I'm already going to be in it, if you know what I mean. But I'm still happy being single. But what I mean to say is I act as if. So when you act as if, it means that you act as though you are going to get the relationship you desire, even if you're not currently in it. And if you like someone of different ethnicity or religious background, then you need to find out like their culture, what they like, what they don't like. You need to understand them on a more fundamental level. And the more you understand their background, their culture, their history, the more they'll feel comfortable when you talk to them. So I know that anything I do now will only in the future enhance a possible relationship with an Indian guy because it'll be like, oh, you bothered to take time to get to know and understand my community, my people. You bothered to take time to understand me. I can understand Indian guys more because I hang out with Indians as much as possible. Usually that's online, but obviously by going to the Bollywood event, I'm like combining the most passionate thing possible in terms of dancing with a passion of mine for Indian guys. And so this leaves me feeling really good. But I want to like I want to blend in with Indians in the sense that I want them to feel like comfortable around me. I want them to feel like I'm part of their community. Because, if I do get with an Indian guy in the future, he, I'm sure, would love to go to Bollywood events and stuff. And if I can, you know, put him in a position where he'll be really happy because he'll be hanging out with people of his own kind and me at the same time, then that would be really nice for him, I think. So I'm kind of always thinking about him in the future, not just me. And I'm doing these things that I find are very courageous and well out of my comfort zone in order to find the guy of my dreams. Because I honestly believe that it takes courage and getting out of your comfort zone to get what you want in life. I don't think you're going to get anything in life by just staying in comfort zone all the time. Right, and it means traveling outside of your city or town. It means, like, going to places you've never gone before. It means having different experiences. It means doing things differently. And so if you want a relationship, you gotta be prepared to do different things. And also a good thing is to, like, block and cut off people who are really not interested in you anymore, who have decided that you're not the person for them, who have not been nice to you, or just you're not compatible with them. This is a really important step. So you have to be brave enough to block people, to cut people off. Obviously, if they've done nothing wrong, you don't have to block them. You could just, like, unfriend and not talk to them again. But for your own peace of mind, if you feel like really strong attraction to a person, but the person's like not interested in you, then you just need to cut that usually, like unless you're really good friends. Like obviously I get attracted to my friends and they're still my friends because I'm attracted to them. But I'm talking about, say you dated someone and it just didn't work out. There's no point in keeping in contact with that person a lot of the time unless you really can be good friends, because it's just gonna mean that you're always thinking, "What if?" There's always gonna be that person there, and if the other person says they wanna be your friend, but they don't and you're agreeing to be friends, but they're not even speaking to you, that's not being your friend. So you have to learn to let them go. Like, I liked an Indian guy a lot who's asexual recently, but he actually can't move over here when he said he could relocate, which is fine. And I said we could be friends, but he just stopped talking to me, which is fine. It's done me a favor because just I get that, I can't really have such intense feelings for a guy or any feelings for a guy much when he's not in contact with me. So it actually really helped me out. So I wish him the best of luck. Clearly, I'm not the person he's that into as he said he was, which is fine. And I wish him the best of luck. But as he wasn't even talking to me, there's no point in still being connected to him because I'm going to be trying to find the right Indian guy for me still. And I don't want the what if possibility of him still, being a connection. Especially when he's not interested in talking to me anymore, which is fine. Another thing is you've got to be open to rejection because you're going to get loads of people rejecting you. But if you're not willing to be rejected, it means you won't even bother trying in your life to get the relationship of your dreams. And so therefore, you'll just sit there worrying all the time about the fact of, oh, what if this person rejects me? If that person rejects you, they have literally eliminated themselves from being in a relationship with you and they weren't right for you in the first place. The right person is not going to eliminate themselves. They're going to do whatever it takes to be with you. If they're not gonna do whatever it takes to be with you, they're not your person, right? And it's no good them saying they'll do whatever it takes if they're not actually doing the thing that it takes, right? You have to do the thing it takes to get the relationship you want, just like they have to do the thing it takes to get the relationship they want. If they do not want you in a relationship with them as much as you want them, it's not gonna work out. So you have to accept that rejection is part of the dating world, it's part of finding a relationship. You have to be bold enough and strong enough and brave enough to understand that it's okay to move on with your life. It's okay to be rejected. I've been rejected loads, and I like my personality personally. I love my looks, I think it's beautiful. I love my heart. I think I'm very kind. I've got a beautiful load of love to give to the right guy, but the wrong guy will just eliminate himself from being the right guy. And that's okay. So him rejecting me is really rejecting himself for me. That's the mindset you have to have. It's a mindset shift, see? So I don't think the guy's rejecting me because I'm a bad person. I like my personality. I love me. I think he's rejecting me because he knows I'm not right for him. And maybe he can't live up to my expectations, or maybe my expectations are and standards are too high for him, which is fine. Or maybe he's got past issues that he just hasn't dealt with. And instead of dealing with them, he'd rather walk away from the girl of his dreams, for example, because his past is too painful for him to deal with. So another thing I would say to you is you need to deal with your past problems and relationship issues in order to get the relationship of your dreams. So while searching for the relationship of your dreams, you still need to be working on yourself. This is essential because you need a healthy relationship in the future. You're not going to have a healthy relationship in the future if you haven't worked on your own issues. Everyone has issues. I have past trauma that I have to work through. I have past childhood trauma, past trauma from various accidents and abusive relationships. And I'm always working on that in order to prepare for myself having a healthy relationship with a guy in the future. I've worked on stuff like that a lot already. I'm personally a much more healthier person than I used to be. I don't talk about my past like that, but I know in comparison, I've done a lot of inner work on myself. I've still got work to do, and no one's ever perfect. You have to accept that the person you're going to get into a relationship with is not going to be perfect, and neither are you. But you both need to be working on your own issues and growing yourself as well as growing in the relationship. And you have to find someone who's equally invested in you. And you have to find someone who's honest, but it requires you to go through a lot of people who are not good for you and not right for you, right? Even in a general stereotypical dating scenario, only about 5% are going to be the right type of person for you. And as we're asexuals and we're a 1% of the population, we're a 1% of the 5%, you know? And then we've all got individual nuances and things. So we have to look at our situation and the relationship we desire very holistically. Like, we have to think of our own physical needs, our mental needs, our emotional needs. We have to be thinking about the needs of the other person in the future. We have to be thinking about what position we're in, kind of like job wise, career wise, home wise, other relationship wise. Like, do you have healthy friendships, for example? Because if you have healthy friendships, you're much more likely to be able to attract healthier relationships or relationship, right? Because you're going to seek the qualities you've got in your highly healthy friendships in an actual relationship. And if a potential relationship isn't going to be healthy, you're going to notice it quite quickly. It's going to be off. There's something going to happen that's going to feel off. So what you need to do is recognize healthy relationships in your life so that when you want to get into a relationship, you know what that looks like. And you have to be willing to let someone go, even if you have feelings for them, if they're not healthy for you. Right? You can talk to the guy or person, people, discuss with them the issues. If they put it right, great. If they don't, then you have to be prepared to walk away. And you don't chase after someone. Right? If a person doesn't want you for who you are, doesn't love you for who you are, just wants you to come after them, it's not going to work because the power is going to be all over to them. And it's going to be an unbalanced relationship where they're going to have more control in the relationship than you are. Should be equal power in the relationship. No one should be playing games with someone else. No one should be having power over someone else. So if that person doesn't want you, you have to accept they don't want you. That is fine. Move on and find someone who does. Because there's going to be someone out there who is going to love you the way you desire, is going to want you and need you the way you desire. And if that person even never showed up, it's you. You're the person who loves yourself, desires yourself, wants yourself, and is with yourself so much, right? So never ever give up and do whatever it takes. This might require as well, you might need to go and go to specific different restaurants with friends, go to somewhere you've never been before. For example, go on meetup.com and go to a meetup you've never been to, do a different class. Maybe you want to try an art class or a pottery class or a cooking class. Maybe you just want to go to see a talk that you've never been to before. Put yourself in different places and positions which you wouldn't usually put yourself in, and go to where you think your ideal type of person would hang out. For example, if you like opera, then maybe go to an opera and see who's in the audience and mingle with the people in the break and just strike up conversations saying, "Oh, how are you enjoying the opera?" Things like this. If you love singing, then you could join a singing group and maybe find someone suitable for that. So I like Indian guys, so I need to be where Indian guys are and hanging out, and I just like being in that atmosphere. But I love dancing so much. And in my city, there's only like University of Exeter or other societies similar. There's holding the Bollywood events in my city. So that's why I need to go to them, because I want to go and do some Bollywood type of dancing. Apparently, this is like more like a pop dancing. And I want to hang out with those people. I want to feel inspired to be in their company and that they're inspired to be in mine. So it's very important that you understand that rejection is just part of the process of finding the right person. And if you're not willing to be rejected, then you'll just never ever do anything. You'll never approach anyone for a relationship. You'll always live in your comfort zone saying, "Well, I didn't want to approach him in case it didn't work out. I didn't want to stop a friendship in case it didn't work out." And then you missed out on the love of your life. The people usually that are your bestest friends that you can talk to about anything and everything, usually one or more of those people, if you're polyamorous, it'd be more one. If you're monogamous, are the ideal type of person for you. The reason being is that you're already comfortable around that person or people, you're already understanding each other, you're already in each other's lives, you're already comfortable in a huge degree with them, and you're confident around them usually, and they just make you feel good about yourself. So always be around people who make you feel good, and develop different friendships with people, because one of them one day might turn out to be the relationship of your dreams. And even if they don't, they might introduce you to someone who is the ideal person for you. But it takes getting out of your comfort zone and understanding it's okay to be rejected, because they're not really rejecting you as such. They're rejecting the idea, or the idea of being with you, and they're rejecting the fact that they are no good for you. They're like saying, "Okay, I'm rejecting the fact that I'm rejecting the fact of being with you. I'm rejecting me being with you because I'm rejecting, or maybe ejecting would be a better word. I'm ejecting myself from this scenario because I am no good for you. I'm not the right person for you. I don't want to be with you." Right? So I'm like, instead of rejecting, it's like ejecting themselves. They're ejecting themselves from the possibility of being with you, and that's okay. Right? I like guys who come up to me in clubs and they're so strong and brave and they just march up and start talking to me, dancing with me, anything like that. I love that, right? Because they are literally standing out from the crowd. They're doing what other people would not usually do, and they are just not caring what they're saying. And that's what you have to do in life. I don't care if other people see me kissing a guy. I love kissing, right? And I live for the moment, because life is too freaking short. And sometimes we do have to take risks. Sometimes we might get into a relationship with someone who's not any good for us. But if we see that soon as possible and cut that off, that's fine. Right? But if we never ever take any risks or chances with anything in any relationship, then we can end up very lonely and miserable and, like missing out on life. Right? And as I've said before, to do with asexual relationships, you have to be usually prepared to move or travel for a relationship, or find someone like that who's willing to do that for you and move or travel for you, right? Because not many times that asexuals happen to be a great match living near each other. It doesn't usually happen. So it might require you moving, which is well out of your comfort zone. You might be leaving like an area where you've got family and friends. But if you want a relationship with your dreams, then is it worth it? You've got to decide that, and you've got to put yourself in different positions and situations where you would be more able to find the person of your dreams, even if it's not somewhere you usually go to, right? And never give up, being in a positive frame of mind and believing in true love, even when the tables are turned and you might feel like, oh my gosh, there's no one for me. It takes courage and boldness and braveness to not get disheartened and to still believe in true love and to still know that you can get the person of your dreams. That just because the other people before were wrong doesn't mean to say that the right person isn't out there for you. So you need to be bold, brave, and courageous and keep believing you'll get the relationship of your dreams. Keep believing that one person's rejection is another person's gold. If someone rejects you and pushes you away and doesn't want you anymore, another person will. One person's like trash, as they say, is one person's treasure. If they treat you like trash, they deserve to be out of your life. And someone who sees you for the valuable person you are will treasure you for the rest of their life. I hope you found this useful, helpful insight. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with someone who needs to hear this right now. Don't forget to click the bell icon after you subscribed so you never miss an episode. And I'll see you soon in the next video live stream. Lots of love. Bye. Bye. Thanks for watching.